Imagine a library filled with ancient tomes, their pages whispering forgotten truths. Yet, some of these books were never meant for your eyes, sealed away by those who feared their power. What knowledge did they contain? What secrets were too dangerous for the world to know? Throughout history, certain texts have been labeled forbidden, not merely for their words, but for the transformative ideas within them, ideas that could shift beliefs, challenge authority, and awaken minds. The Church, as the guardian of spiritual order, often stood at the gates of this knowledge, deciding which truths were safe to share and which had to remain hidden. But why? Was it to protect the masses from spiritual peril, or to preserve control over the mysteries of existence? In this video, we'll journey into the shadowed corners of history to uncover the real reasons certain books were banned by the Church. We'll explore ancient manuscripts that dared to question divine authority, esoteric texts that revealed forbidden spiritual practices, and philosophical works that threatened to reshape the foundations of faith itself. Along the way, we'll reveal how the suppression of knowledge shaped the spiritual landscape of the world, and what these hidden teachings might offer those who seek the deeper truths of existence. Prepare to see history through a different lens, where the line between forbidden wisdom and sacred truth is not as clear as you might think. Historical philosophical context. To understand why certain books were banned by the Church, we must step back into a world where the written word held immense power not merely as ink on parchment, but as a key to the mind and soul. In medieval Europe, the Church stood as both a spiritual guide and a gatekeeper of knowledge. Books were rare and precious, and the knowledge they contained could shape kingdoms, challenge doctrines, and alter the course of human thought. Yet, some texts were deemed too dangerous. Why? Because within their pages lay ideas that could unravel the fabric of religious authority. These forbidden books often contained hidden spiritual techniques, alternative cosmologies, or interpretations of divinity that threatened the Church's role as the sole path to salvation. By controlling access to knowledge, the Church maintained both spiritual and political power. Consider the Gnostic Gospels, ancient texts that offered a radically different view of Christianity. Unlike the canonical Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, these writings suggested that divine knowledge gnosis was accessible to all, not just through the Church but through personal experience and inner enlightenment. Such a message undermined the Church's claim as the intermediary between humanity and God. It's no surprise that these texts were branded heretical and systematically suppressed. Similarly, the works of philosophers like Giordano Bruno and Galileo Galilei were condemned because they challenged the Church's interpretation of the cosmos. Bruno's belief in an infinite universe filled with countless worlds threatened the very notion of a divinely ordered creation centered on Earth. Galileo's support of heliocentrism, the idea that the Earth revolves around the Sun, defied Church doctrine, which held that Earth was the center of the universe. These ideas weren't just scientific theories, they struck at the heart of a worldview that placed humanity at the center of God's plan. But the Church's censorship wasn't solely about theology or science, it extended to the realm of the esoteric. Texts like the Corpus Hermeticum, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, revealed ancient wisdom about the nature of the soul, the cosmos, and the interconnectedness of all things. This knowledge, drawn from Egyptian, Greek, and Roman traditions, suggested that humans could attain spiritual mastery in divine wisdom independently of religious institutions. Allowing such ideas to spread could diminish the Church's authority, so these texts, too, were hidden from public view. The Church's Index Librorum Prohibitorum, Index of Forbidden Books, became the instrument of this control. Established in the 16th century, it listed works that Catholics were forbidden to read without special permission. The index targeted not only heretical writings but also scientific, philosophical, and esoteric texts that might lead readers to question Church teachings. Yet, despite this suppression, many of these works survived, passed down in secret by mystics, scholars, and seekers of hidden truths. Why did these books endure? Because the human spirit, by its nature, seeks to know what lies beyond the veil of the ordinary. Even when knowledge is forbidden, the thirst for truth remains. And so, the wisdom within these banned books continues to call to those who dare to look beyond the boundaries of accepted belief. Core explanation. At the heart of this story lies a profound truth: knowledge has the power to transform consciousness. Yet, not all knowledge is welcomed, especially when it challenges established systems of belief. To understand why certain books were banned by the Church, we must explore what made their content so dangerous, not just intellectually, but spiritually. Many of these forbidden texts shared a common theme: they offered a direct path to spiritual enlightenment, bypassing the need for religious institutions. Consider the Gospel of Thomas, one of the Gnostic texts discovered at Nag Hammadi in 1945. Unlike the canonical Gospels, which emphasize faith in Christ and obedience to the Church, the Gospel of Thomas teaches that divine knowledge lies within each individual. Its opening verse declares, "Whoever discovers the interpretation of these sayings will not taste death." This radical idea, that salvation comes from self-knowledge, threatened the Church's authority, which depended on acting as the intermediary between humanity and God. Similarly, the Corpus Hermeticum, a collection of ancient writings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, presented a vision of the universe as a living, interconnected whole. It taught that by understanding the hidden laws of nature, individuals could ascend to higher states of consciousness, becoming co-creators with the divine. Such teachings empowered individuals to seek enlightenment through personal experience rather than religious doctrine, making these texts a direct challenge to the Church's control over spiritual knowledge. But the forbidden books weren't limited to religious texts. Works like Giordano Bruno's writings on the infinite universe and Galileo's support of heliocentrism were condemned because they redefined humanity's place in the cosmos. If Earth was not the center of creation, then humanity was no longer the pinnacle of divine design. This shift in perspective threatened the very foundation of Church authority, which had long taught that humans held a unique and central role in God's plan. Even beyond science and theology, certain philosophical works posed a danger because they encouraged individuals to question authority itself. Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince, though not a spiritual text, was banned because it exposed the mechanics of power, revealing that rulers, including religious leaders, often acted out of self-interest rather than divine guidance. Such ideas could erode the moral authority of both secular and religious leaders, undermining the Church's influence over society. Yet, the Church's fear of these books wasn't merely about preserving its power. Many within the Church genuinely believed that certain knowledge could lead souls astray. Esoteric texts often describe techniques for altering consciousness, communing with spiritual entities, or manipulating unseen forces. Without proper guidance, these practices could lead to spiritual imbalance, or so it was believed. By banning these texts, the Church sought to protect both its followers and the stability of society itself. However, the suppression of knowledge often has the opposite effect. The very act of forbidding a book imbues it with an aura of mystery, making it even more alluring to those who seek hidden truths. And so, despite the Church's efforts, these forbidden books continued to circulate in secret, copied by hand, passed from one seeker to another, and preserved by those who understood their true value. In the next section, we will delve deeper into the specific spiritual practices and forbidden techniques described in these texts, and why the Church considered them so dangerous. At the core of many banned books lies a set of practices that empower individuals to awaken dormant abilities that, if fully realized, could liberate people from external control. These practices were not mere philosophical musings, they were practical methods for altering perception, expanding consciousness, and influencing both the inner and outer worlds. This was the true reason for their suppression. Consider the teachings of Hermeticism, as outlined in the Corpus Hermeticum. Its principles, such as above, so below, and, as within, so without, reveal that the universe is a mirror of the mind. By mastering the inner realm, through meditation, visualization, and focused intention, one could shape reality itself. This knowledge was seen as dangerous because it shifted power from religious institutions to the individual. If a person could commune directly with the divine through inner practice, what need was there for priests, rituals, or dogma? The Gnostic texts went even further, teaching that the material world was a prison created by an imperfect God, the demiurge. True salvation, they claimed, came from awakening the divine spark within and escaping this illusion. Techniques such as contemplative prayer, chanting sacred syllables, and entering altered states of consciousness were used to bypass the material realm and reconnect with the eternal source. To the Church, these practices undermined the authority of its teachings, which emphasized faith, obedience, and the afterlife as the ultimate reward. Alchemy, too, was more than a quest to turn lead into gold, it was a metaphor for spiritual transformation. Texts like the Emerald Tablet and the works of Paracelsus described a process of purifying the soul, transmuting base desires into spiritual enlightenment. By following this path, individuals could ascend beyond the limitations of the physical body, achieving what some called the philosopher's stone, the key to immortality. Yet, this knowledge was encoded in symbols and metaphors, accessible only to those with the insight to decode its secrets. This secrecy was both a safeguard and a necessity, for in the wrong hands, such power could be misused. But the suppression of knowledge was not limited to esoteric practices. Certain philosophical works were banned because they encouraged critical thinking and self-reliance, qualities that threatened the Church's control over both the mind and spirit. The works of Giordano Bruno, for example, proposed that the universe was infinite and that countless worlds existed beyond our own. This idea not only challenged the Church's cosmology but also implied that humanity was not the center of creation, dismantling the very foundation of religious authority. Even the exploration of altered states of consciousness was viewed as a threat. Texts describing the use of sacred plants, rhythmic drumming, and breathwork to access visionary states were often banned or hidden away. These practices had been used by shamans, mystics, and spiritual seekers for millennia, offering direct experiences of the divine that required no mediator. By altering perception and dissolving the boundaries of the ego, these techniques revealed the interconnectedness of all life, challenging the hierarchical structures that maintained social order. Yet, the most dangerous idea of all was that spiritual enlightenment was available to everyone. The banned texts taught that divinity was not reserved for saints or priests, it was the birthright of every human being. This radical egalitarianism threatened the very fabric of religious authority, which depended on maintaining a clear distinction between the sacred and the profane, the chosen and the ordinary. If anyone could attain divine wisdom through personal practice, the Church's role as gatekeeper of salvation would become obsolete. In suppressing these books, the Church sought to protect both its power and the social order. Yet, the knowledge they contained could not be fully erased. Hidden in secret libraries, passed down through underground networks, and preserved in coded manuscripts, these forbidden teachings continued to inspire those who sought the deeper truths of existence. In the next section, we will explore how these ancient teachings can be applied in the modern world, and how you can unlock their transformative power in your own life. Practical application. The forbidden knowledge contained in these banned books was never meant to be mere theory, it was a roadmap to personal transformation. Even today, the practices they describe can be used to awaken hidden abilities, expand consciousness, and break free from limiting beliefs. However, this path requires discipline, dedication, and an open mind. Here are several practical techniques drawn from these ancient teachings that you can begin applying in your own life. First, consider the principle of as within, so without, from Hermeticism. This principle teaches that your inner state shapes your outer reality. To harness this power, start with a daily visualization practice. Each morning, sit quietly and visualize your ideal life as if it were already real. Feel the emotions associated with your success: joy, gratitude, and confidence. This emotional resonance acts like a magnet, aligning your energy field with the opportunities and experiences that match your desires. But visualization alone is not enough. The ancient texts emphasize the importance of focused intention, the ability to concentrate your mind without distraction. To develop this skill, practice single-pointed meditation. Choose an object, such as a candle flame or a sacred symbol like the flower of life. Focus all your attention on this object, allowing no other thoughts to intrude. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the object. Start with 5 minutes and gradually increase to 20. This practice strengthens your willpower, enhances mental clarity, and deepens your connection to the universal mind. From the Gnostic tradition, we learn the importance of awakening the divine spark within. This process begins with self-exploration, peeling away the layers of conditioning that obscure your true nature. One effective technique is shadow work, the practice of confronting and integrating the hidden aspects of your psyche. Each night, reflect on your day and note any negative emotions, fears, or judgments that arose. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? By acknowledging and accepting these parts of yourself, you dissolve inner conflict and unlock greater energy and creativity. Breath work, too, plays a vital role in spiritual awakening. Techniques like conscious breath control can shift your state of consciousness and activate dormant energy centers within the body. Try the 4-7-8 breathing method: inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This rhythm calms the nervous system, quiets the mind, and opens the gateway to deeper states of awareness. For a more advanced practice, explore pranayama, the ancient yogic art of breath control, which can awaken the kundalini energy coiled at the base of the spine. Alchemy's metaphor of transmutation applies not only to the soul but also to the physical body. The foods you consume, the thoughts you entertain, and the emotions you cultivate all affect your energetic frequency. To elevate your vibration, adopt a diet rich in natural, high-frequency foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Limit processed foods, alcohol, and artificial stimulants, which can lower your energy and cloud your mind. Combine this with regular physical exercise to circulate vital energy throughout your body. For those seeking direct spiritual experience, the use of sacred symbols and sigils can be profoundly effective. In ancient times, mystics inscribed specific symbols to focus their intentions and communicate with higher realms. To create your own sigil, write down a specific desire, for example, I have unlimited creative inspiration. Remove all the vowels and duplicate letters, then rearrange the remaining letters into a unique design. Charge the sigil by focusing on it with intense emotion, then release the desire into the universe, trusting that it will manifest in its own time. Finally, the most powerful practice of all is inner silence, the ability to still the mind and listen to the whispers of your higher self. Each day, spend a few moments in complete stillness, free from thoughts, distractions, or external noise. In this space of silence, you reconnect with the source of all wisdom and guidance, gaining insights that cannot be found in any book. Yet, as powerful as these practices are, they require patience and consistency. True transformation does not happen overnight, it is the result of daily discipline and unwavering commitment. Begin with just 1 or 2 techniques, integrating them into your daily routine until they become second nature. Over time, you will notice profound changes, not only in your inner world but also in the outer circumstances of your life. In the final section, we will reflect on the significance of preserving and applying this ancient knowledge in the modern age, and why its suppression only proves its immense power. Conclusion. Throughout history, the suppression of certain books was never about protecting the public, it was about controlling what people could know, believe, and become. These forbidden texts contained knowledge that could liberate the human spirit, dissolve fear, and awaken dormant abilities. Yet, their suppression only made them more powerful, turning them into symbols of the eternal human quest for truth. The teachings hidden within these banned books are more than ancient relics, they are keys to personal transformation. They reveal that the boundaries we perceive between the material and spiritual worlds are illusions, and that we possess the power to shape our reality from within. By applying their wisdom, we can transcend limiting beliefs, awaken hidden potentials, and forge a deeper connection with the universe itself. But this path is not without its challenges. It requires the courage to question everything society has taught us, the discipline to cultivate our inner world, and the humility to accept that true wisdom cannot be forced, it must be earned. Yet, for those who persevere, the rewards are beyond imagination, a life of greater clarity, purpose, and spiritual freedom. So, as you reflect on the knowledge shared in this video, ask yourself, what truths might still be hidden from me? What beliefs have I accepted without question? And most importantly, am I ready to unlock the hidden potential within me? Remember, the most powerful book you will ever read is the one you write with your own life. Each thought, choice, and action shapes the story of who you are becoming. So choose wisely. Seek the truth, even when it challenges everything you know. And never forget, the knowledge that can set you free has always been within your reach. If you found this video thought-provoking, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next revelation. Until next time, stay curious, stay awakened, and keep seeking the truth. And remember, if you found this journey into forbidden knowledge insightful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more hidden truths and ancient wisdom. Until next time, seek the unseen and question the known.